So I just saw Underwater, the newest film starring Kristen Stewart, and it was enjoyable. I know, I was also pretty surprised. I went in expecting something wildly different, and for the first 20 minutes, that's what I got. A pretty terrible film, something that was more of a premise than an actual story with characters. But after that, the film surprised me. It became less stupid, the direction improved, and the plot actually got interesting. And I was not expecting that. This film takes place deep underwater in a drilling facility that gets hit with an earthquake. Or at least that's what the characters assume it was, and several different compartments are completely destroyed. We have a few survivors that in order to reach the evacuation area have to put on special suits that almost look like mecha suits from anime, so they can then walk across the ocean floor and reach the place that will allow them to resurface. And that's when things got interesting, because they weren't hit with an earthquake. There was something underwater that attacked them. And that's what this movie is, an inferior version of both Alien and Aliens. Like I said before, the first 25 minutes were awful. There was no story. It was literally just a premise. We had a couple of moments with Kristen Stewart's character monologuing philosophical crap to herself, and then the facility gets attacked, and she, alongside some other people, need to run if they want to survive. And even when the film paused, so the characters had time to discuss what they were going to do next, there was some weird moments. I remember at least two of them. Minor spoilers, by the way. The first was this exchange between Kristen Stewart's character and who I think was her boss.
You just admit we might die doing that.
Yeah. But can you admit that we might live doing this?
This was weird. It gave me the impression that they were kind of flirting. I don't know. It's a strange tone of voice, very out of place and bizarre, and makes the protagonist, her, come off like the type of person who is just negative about everything, and that is not a good trait to have on that main character. Makes her seem pretty obnoxious. And the other moment was when this skinny black guy picked up a damaged helmet and gave it to Kristen Stewart, and I assumed that he was trying to kill her, which was dumb on its own, since it was fairly easy to spot what looked to be a bullet hole on the helmet. But hey, at least he was different from what I expected and an interesting twist on the genre. However, it turns out this wasn't what he did. He actually gave her a working helmet he found off screen and kept a defective one for himself, which didn't make much sense. The character who I think was the boss said they only needed to find 6 working helmets, and there were a few helmets in the room. I guess the film was trying to give the impression that this guy looked through all the helmets and in the end found one defective and 5 in good conditions. I'm guessing this was what they were trying to do, because I don't know how else to make sense of this scene. It looked like he was plotting something, and not like he was sacrificing himself. So this moment wasn't particularly well executed. But as soon as that was done, and this guy died because his suit broke apart, things got interesting. The characters start wondering how an earthquake managed to make so much damage, and they find a body with a strange creature attached to it. Then more creatures show up, and sequences of suspense and action were nicely handled. It was pretty fun to watch them trying to save each other and get to where they need to go, while also defending themselves from the sea creatures. And the final act was by far the best one. I wasn't aware a particular sea monster was going to make an appearance, but I was more than happy that it did. And since it was a nice touch I didn't see coming, I won't spoil what this creature looked like. I'm giving Underwater a 4 out of 10. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't anything special either. If the characters were stronger and those first 20 minutes weren't garbage, I would give this a higher rating. Check this out if you're into Alien and Cloverfield type movies, just don't go in expecting something spectacular. Like Alien. This is enjoyable dumb crap. And I liked it. Anyway, see you next time.